Hey, everybody, and welcome to the final qualifier that we have here for the Take the Crown Doom 2 Duel Tournament. It's great to see everybody back. But yeah, once again, this is a venture that's put forth by myself and the Multiplayer Doom Federation so that we can get lots of intense 1v1 Doom Duel action. But of course, just before we get into the matches today, we want to show off quickly what's kind of going on. So, first of all, there were four different qualifiers that we had, and the top four players of each qualifier go on through to the final bracket. So, after this week and determining who is the last four players, next week we're going to have the $1,500 prize pool tournament, which will be awesome. But yeah, that scene is looking quiet now without seeing any of the other qualifiers down there. But as far as the rule set, each round is decided by 50 kills or the lead at the end of 20 minutes. So if both players are tied after 20 minutes, we go to a sudden death, essentially, where there is a golden frag, and whichever player gets the first kill wins that match. Top four players, of course, move on to the final bracket. The winners bracket matches are going to feature best of three matches, whereas the losers bracket will all be best of one. But that will be changing next week in the final bracket. Winners bracket is going to stay as best of three, but the losers bracket matches are actually going to change to best of three also. All right, so what do we have for you for our first match? It's going to be Azrael versus Legion, but before we get too far into it, we're going to have to introduce my co-caster with me today. Do, how you doing today?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing fine.
Do is sounding so excited for the games today. I'm loving that.
4 weeks of excitement and chores. Here we go.
Just a bunch of work. All right, so we're gonna see if Azrael and Legion are both in game here. We'll take a look. We had Azrael practicing in a German server, but we believe they're gonna be playing on Chicago. Is that right?
Yeah, Chicago is supposed to be their middle ground, but technically, if they communicate on using a different server, that's fine by the rules. We just need to get a message from them. Okay, Legion says he's ready. So basically, waiting for Azrael to communicate with Legion.
All right, so we're gonna be waiting on for a second. Well, we're waiting for Azrael and Legion to get into game. I just want to send a reminder that this is not the only stream taking place today. If you want to see more matches in the Take the Crown tournament, you can check them out also at Tasty Spleen TV and at twitch.tv/inthekeep. So I'll be uh, using a little command here in chat, and if you click on either of those, you can watch tons of Doom action today. So we've got 14 players here in the bracket. What are you expecting to out of who you've seen sign up?
Oh yeah, I said this before this even started that week 4 will be a great North American redemption tour because in the first 3 weeks, just 3 out of the 12 qualified players were North Americans, which left basically a lot of North American talent still in the running, while all the other continents were severely depleted out of their best players. So in this tournament, we actually have no South American players at all, and we have just 3 European signups. So everything else is just going to be a great FFA between uh, North American players. We have Americans, Canadians, and Mexicans battling it out for the last 4 spots. But I wouldn't discount at least 2 of the Europeans players, Daston and Unknown. our European seeds, and they could still mix everything up.
Okay, 1 second here. Since I'm still not seeing them in the servers, maybe we should just enter one of the Chicago servers and then both of them can join off us. I'm not sure. Send me a link there, dude.
Okay, Asriel is asking for the Chicago server. We have actually two.
It's the real final boss, everybody in chat today, is finding out the servers. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Over here, it's snowing out, hard outside, seeing like 5 or 6 inches of snow on the ground, so just happy to be inside where it's warm and casting instead of going outside. Who the heck does that?
We had about 5 minutes of snow the entire winter.
I am so jealous.
It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like nostalgic.
Me? I'm from Calgary.
Because, yeah, I understand that you're fed up, but when I was like 15, I could actually, like, on some days during the winter, I could just put on my cross country skis and just go, running straight out of my apartment. Like I just went out of the building and I could just put on the skis and just go somewhere because we had snow. and I haven't seen that much snow in 20 fucking years.
God, that's insane. Just taking
and
my...
now we just don't have any snow at all. We just have the ice on my car window, specifically just my car window.
Alright, will they be in Take the Crown A or B? If it's just MDF.
I think they're in A. Asriel is in A, so I would just go into Chicago A.
Done, we're finally in servers. Alright, we got Asriel and we got Legion here, and just kind of reminding everybody that since it is the final qualifier, we're interested in seeing how the bans are going to take place for the maps. Because this is like your last chance. If you want to get into the prize pool tournament, this is where all the marbles count. So are you going to no longer withhold information and just try to go for your very best maps?
Yeah, like, are you going to go for the tried and true, the SSG duels where you just compare your SSG strength, just going to bang on knowing the new maps better than your opponent, or are you going to outsmart them on one of the larger maps? Like right now, all of these choices count.
And so as far as the map pool, let's see. So they banned CGI, so no Rock King map.
Well, yeah, they banned first UptightDM, CGI, Mu2D. So we're left to a fairly classic. We've got King, we've got Dweller, and what am I forgetting?
No, King 1 was banned. Oh wait, no, never mind. They were just showing the full series of maps. No, it says Asriel banned King 1.
No, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I completely missed that. Okay, so UptightDM, King. Wait. How many bands are there? Eyedea, Eyedea, King CGI, Mu 2D. Or okay, I can do basic maths. I will just leave it to the players.
Just gotta count to 7, but we're getting a start in here. We're gonna be checking out. Oh, where's the? 1 sec. Gotta change the. That's better. Now we can see health. But starting up here on Dweller, what are we expecting?
Well, we the veterans of this channel know what we should expect Dweller from week 2, right? Because we watched like 5 Dweller matches in a row. This is a highly tactical. These players are not taking it tactical yet. They're still rushing at each other, but it is a rat maze, and you almost always know where your opponent is. Like roughly, he's in that sector or that sector, and it's all about limiting the movement. You're in like your safe spot, and you need to make aggressive jousts against the other guy, and kind of limit their escape routes and attack vectors. It's definitely the most strategic map out of the entire pool.
And loads of options coming in there with the teleporters, but as we can see right now, a very competitive match going on between Azrael and WGS Incorporated is Legion. Always gotta use these names to throw off us casters.
It's actually Wigs Incorporated.
Wigs?
But he's using such a horrible font that you can't even read it.
Azrael looking confused when Legion turned around and Legion takes that kill. Dweller is a tough map because many of the spawns do not provide you with a weapon, so you have to go and find one. Like you might start with a couple of chain guns or like a rocket launcher spawn, but you're not coming up with an SSG off spawn.
Yeah, that's actually one of the stronger points, that if you're on a run, you're in control in the center of, you can get a nice chain of spawn frags simply because your opponent has to rush for a meaningful weapon, and you can block them, of course. At least try.
Give it your best effort. Okay, Legion gets right away to the center for kind of a free SSG there. And Azrael was at full health, so that might have been a mistake.
But yeah, you can see that the game slowed down a little. Like they were just changing blows in the first few minutes, or maybe just seconds into the game. But right now, they're definitely slowed down the pace, and no one wants to be the guy who's eating all of the shells after spawning. So we're definitely seeing more of plus back game. Everyone's trying to pace themselves, shoot from a stronger position. And there was a nice telefrag. Yeah.
Yeah, Dweller is a map where you'll see lots of kind of, or more telefrag action than you'd see in any of the other maps in the set. But essentially there's 4 different teleporters on Dweller, and you can do some going forwards and backwards. But yeah, you have to listen carefully to get an idea where your opponent will be located.
Yeah, they basically change the map into like a knot of routes. But you still, if you know the map, you can still divine where your opponent is trying to go. And we're seeing Azrael turning the game around with a really powerful string of frags. Oh, Oh, there was a missed telefrag.
Yeah, amazing dodge there, kind of baiting Legion into the teleporter, and then Azrael following up with the blast.
So basically, you saw Azrael stringing together a really powerful set of frags while he kept dominant in the center. And when Legion finally managed to kill Azrael, he couldn't convert the follow-up spawn of Azrael, and that means they're now back to a tight game. But now Legion is actually mounting a comeback.
Pushing in an offensive. So in the first half of the game, we're not seeing somebody go on a spree and get like a really major advantage, but that can change at any time. Already we got 20 to 18. Because Doom is so much about that, like, each of your lives, you're completely reset. Is you just go back to 100 health, and you're not, in the majority of cases, you're not going to be picking up a green armor for anything additional. But yeah, just getting a frag does not mean that it's not going to just come back to bite you in the butt right away.
And both of these guys are actually quite aggressive. This could go much slower. And I would say Azrael is having a slightly better overall battle plan. He's more strategic with opening up his angles and timing his shots. But Legion is a very experienced player, and you can see how he's doing this chain gun harassment, and he's doing all of the small side steps around pillars. That's like, that helps you in the moment. So Legion, if it's just the immediate challenge between these two guys, Legion is doing more to win an actual fight, but Azrael has a better game plan as far as the spawn frags go. So every time Legion dies, there's a threat of Azrael going on like a 3 frag spree, because he just follows up with weak spawns by Legion.
For sure, just dominating and taking control of them, but like as we can just see there, like maybe Legion is learning from Azrael's tactics and kind of converting them to his own to take out.
Yeah, it's still an open game. Legion is still very much within the range to tie it up with a strong set of spawn frags.
Legion owing to keep with the SSG there instead of swapping over to the chain gun.
Nice.
Sometimes you'll see players, if they are aware that their opponent's at very low health, they'll do a chain gun switch.
And you shouldn't ever be impatient on this map. Like, what you saw there was Legion just knowing that Azrael had nowhere to go, so he just waited, and it paid off. Even if you just nick the other player when they're with a weak weapon, you still need to just wait and nick them.
Azrael getting behind Legion.
Oh, that was a panic rocket.
Call it a panic rocket.
Although it might have been intentional suicide just to restart his health. There you go. You see that he basically restarted his position and got a sneaky kill.
Azrael jumping off the platform to get all up and aggressive in Legion's face, but he battles that off. Oh, this is ridiculously
really
tight
nice
now.
Yeah. These rockets are good because they're... Oh, but a really good shot by Legion
Yeah, Legion sniffs out the strategy and then gets in an SSG blast in the middle.
Azrael was kind of whittling Legion's health down, but Legion persisted.
Oh, if the power of weapons that can kill you in a single blow is sometimes doing 90 damage is the same thing as doing 0 damage, because your opponent is alive and still has frag potential.
Yeah. You can mount a really powerful spawn frag spree even with 10 health. If your opponent can't shoot, then it doesn't matter what your health is.
Just no matter what Legion's doing, he just can't lower the frag differential.
Well, he's working towards that. It's like maybe sometimes you trade frags, but you do it with a better health difference, and that's what matters for the next exchange.
Yeah, having the ability to shoot from further away and get that SSG kill rather than being very close.
There we go. He's actually... Oh! Interesting trade of frags. This should be Legion's frag, but... Azrael actually really stayed patient in that position and waited Legion out.
Oh, well done by Legion hitting that rocket.
Yeah, that was a very low hit, but Azrael was low on health, so there you go.
Maybe do a quick explanation for anybody in chat who is kind of confused by that rocket kill, dude.
Oh, yeah. Basically, we're running the tournament with old school behavior of Z-axis damage, which means that we have infinitely tall actors. What that means that you can't, like basically the players can't jump over each other. They're infinitely tall. That also means that if you shoot a rocket and it hits a wall far above the player, it still damages the player for all of the splash damage. This is the old school Doom behavior, and we kept it within the rules of the tournament, especially because it's so important in this map.
Anything with overhanging edges, it's like crucial for the rocket launcher as far as that style of damage. But like
you basically do like strategic probing rockets that can, if you're lucky, they can outright hand you a frag.
Azrael had a great advantage on that one, but yeah, not finishing off Legion and comes back with the kill.
And now we're getting down to some really personal exchanges in the center, deep into the 40s. So the game is actually speeding up. In the final frags, is this strategic? No. Is this how these two want to play it? Seems so. And it seems that Legion is the one that actually likes this pace better, because he's just sweeping the court right now. He's just getting every surprise shot. Okay, there goes the counter frag by Azrael.
Oh my, Legion stuck in the middle, not totally sure where Azrael went. But Legion gets the kill and Azrael is sitting on a pistol.
Legion almost had another frag, but lost the map control after that whiff.
Yeah, pushing the pace quickly and then slowing it down.
And now we're into the final strategic slow standoff. Because I think whoever gets the next frag might pick up a few others. Actually,
I looked unintentional by Legion falling off.
ooh, that was a tactical suicide, but it didn't pay off.
With Legion up
Ezreal
by
tried
2.
to restart his health.
Legion up by
And
3.
Legion... There we go. Oh. That's... Ezreal only had the rocket launcher and not the SSG ready. Ezreal is deep into the strategic suicides.
Some beautiful
But he
shots by
has
Azrael, not taking any damage in return.
But every bit of health that Legion gets on Azrael counts, because he has a pad of 3 frags now.
Well, back to that +4, and
There we
Legion
go.
takes the first game. Yeah, Azrael getting stuck in that row of kind of suicides, but never able to...
He really tried to play the meta, but it didn't pay off.
Now for the score roulette, because going back to the intermission screen, it can change up who is on top or on bottom. So, okay, we're going to put the 1 for Legion. Or Wigs Incorporated. Is this some sort of sign that the Doom guy's going balding?
I know. I'm more concerned about the disco colors of his name. It's just unreadable. And
Oh, you almost wanted to go into the channel and be like, come on, use your damn names so you don't have to just stare at it and then remember what their true name is.
this is almost like a callback to years back when people were using actually like disco scripts for the names. That was something Skull Tag a lot, and the name colors would actually change all the time, along with the jacket colors of the players.
Oh, like animated
unbearable.
colors and
just scripts for changing your colors all of the time throughout the game. It was called disco scripts, and it was just all of the people who used it were horrible.
What's gonna be next? Mu 2D, the classic Legion map.
No,
We
that
saw
was-
this. We saw this last time
Oh, I
with
thought
Legion
that was
playing
bad.
Mu 2nd.
Okay, I thought this was banned, but apparently not. Yeah, I think they banned one more map than they were allowed to. That's why my maths were wrong. It wasn't my fault, it was their fault.
Players don't know what they're doing.
As usual.
So this is a true SSG jousting map, and Mu 2D,
Oh, yeah.
like every single spawn, you're gonna start with a super shotty.
On the other hand,
brutal.
you will see a lot of attempts to go for the BFG from Legion. He's one of the most notorious like BFG rushers. He will go for the BFG in King, and he will... Oh, that was a nasty whiff. I don't know what happened there, but that cost Legion a frag right there. But he happened to take that back, and actually now he's in control. And he can finish the frag before Azrael teleported into safety. Teleporting into safety is actually relative, because that's a really weak position you're teleporting into, so...
You get teleported into kind of like a concave shaped area where just your opponent
Very
knows
open
exactly...
and very fragile.
Yeah.
And now Legion used the teleporter to escape Azrael's BFG pretty well. Like, this is... I'm not sure if this is good dodging by Legion or not entirely strong placement by Azrael. That wasn't the best BFG I've ever saw by Azrael.
Azrael attempting the BFG onslaught, missing all 5 shots.
Now let's see if Legion can do better. That we go. We get that one frag. That's basically what you should expect from BFG on this map. 5 shots, 1 frag. If you get more, that's a bonus.
Legion was feeling comfy there at the start with a small advantage in frag count, but Azrael has turned it right around.
Yeah, Azrael, like, overall, he's, again, slightly on top of it with better control. But it's the same thing as we've seen in Dweller. It's still within just a small spawn frag distance, so Legion can turn it around at any moment.
Azrael,
I mean, if Legion converted his spawn frags better, this would be a completely different score. But Legion sort of lets Azrael keep it at this comfortable lead. Well, not comfortable, but Legion just gives Azrael chances.
yeah, letting them in the match when there's almost like no need to do so. Oh, but Legion's been like...
Caught him in. That was an unfortunate miss. Again. Okay. Come on, find your BFG. Find your BFG. There you go. Don't use mouse wheel changing weapons.
Oh, what a kill at 5 health.
Now Legion is on a frag round.
Squeezing every last ounce of efficiency out of this life.
Yeah, he was so close to losing that run with that botched up weapon switch.
Yeah, it's more BFG than we've seen on like any of the previous Mu2D matches. Like, you just know players are kind of attempting to defend that area and make it so
Right.
you can't
There
just
was
easily
two-
grab the
two
BFG.
frags. There was 2 BFG frags on 1 round Legion, and that's what you're aiming for, what you're hoping. That gives you basically a net positive. Like 1 frag from those 5 shots, that's standard. 2 frags, it paid off. Now Legion is actually controlling the middle, getting some of the really nice shots.
Into an all-out frag fest in the middle.
Yeah, but it seems like Azrael is not backing down from that. So we'll see if they continue this. We'll see whose SSG is actually sharper. Because right now they're just trading.
And a trade is not going to go in Azrael's favor.
Oh, at +5 you don't want to be trading. You want to be dominant. If you're not dominant and you're not closing that +5 to a smaller number, you should slow it down.
What a cheeky shot behind the wall by Azrael.
Yeah. Just popped into the view. Hello. Made his shot and popped out of the view.
Bonjour, kablam.
Oh, that was an unfortunate miss by Azrael again. Could have brought it much closer. And now Legion try to go for the BFG. No, Azrael won't let him. Even if you grab the BFG, the problem is you're in a very vulnerable spot. Switching to the BFG takes a lot of time, and your opponent will use that to gun you down.
Do you think Legion likes to go for the BFG area as like a form of control, like knowing the other player is going to move towards that area?
He doesn't use it because he knows the other, because he loves the BFG spam. He does it on all the BFG maps. King 1, Exodus 101, wherever the BFG is strong, Legion will rush for it. That's his style, baby.
Now for like one of the few points in the game, we're seeing Legion just slow it down.
He's in the lead, and we're in the 40s, so he should be the one who takes the more opportunistic approach. Nice.
Oh
Close
man,
to BFG while not switching to it.
like it looked like Azrael was prepared for the
but he got
BFG,
caught
but
out.
just didn't get the frag.
Yeah, Ezreal was waiting it out, but couldn't like catch Legion with his hands down. Ooh, but now we're into some dangerous frag trading late into the 40s. This is not what Azrael wants to do. Azrael wants to conserve his health with every frag.
Azrael pushing through the middle, but doesn't work out. Legion 2 kills the victory.
Yeah. Can he mount a surprise? No.
And Legion takes
There
the
we
series
go.
2-0. Azrael just could not afford some of those misses in the last few frags. Just
Two close games.
Yeah.
Still very close games. Could have gone either way. It's just that Legion got into his groove in final frags in both games. Like, just lured his opponent into this frag trading, which is not what you should be doing when you're 2 frags down in the late 40s.
Azrael's going to be kicking themselves with having leads both on Dweller and Mu2D. But it just seemed like maybe
Right.
Azrael got too comfortable with the leads.
Maybe just got lured into, and you just should keep patient and wait him out.
Okay, who do
Oh,
we
well.
got going through the bracket? Devastation moves forward with a bye. The same with Dastin. Rude has taken out Steve88 2-0. Slow Sheep over Unknown, actually, because Slow Sheep, this is the first qualifier that we've seen them in, but over Unknown, 2-1.
Oh wow, that's a surprise. That's actually very surprising.
And the expected tie over less than Propane, 2-0. But, you know, I can't remember exactly how far Propane has gone in each of the brackets, but it's just cool to have these opportunities in all 4 qualifiers, as you can come in and you can play against some of the best Doom 2 deathmatchers in the world and just get some experience against them, because that's not always the case when you're just kind of going around into games. Like, some people are going to be hiding out and doing dirty practice just against certain players, but in these tournaments and getting the bracket set up, there's
you're forced to play against in either view, either the lower tier players, or you're forced to play these best guys around, these monsters, and you might not even meet them regularly in a open server because they might be hiding, just not interested in these casual duels again. These, in their view, random scrubs, but here where the worlds meet. Okay, so what are we doing next?
Well,
because
Solar took out Zen 2-1. So that gives us 3 winners bracket matches that we could decide on, or going
oh wow,
into
that's
unknown
some
and less than
unexpected.
propane.
Well, both unknown overtaking slow sheep overtaking unknown and overtaking an arrow is slightly unexpected. So the I can see Disco Rhine and Ralphis are playing, and I guess In the Keep is also searching for a match. So we gotta figure this out. So we have an open field. So what do we want to do?
I'll try to do Slow Sheep and Tie. Give
Slow sheep and
Motherload,
tie.
Daston, Daston and Rude.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also Devastation Solar actually.
I thought I've given that to Jahar.
Well, Jahar is still stuck on Disco Rhine and Ralphis, which is in its second match, and Disco Rhine is actually leading Ralphis on Dweller in the second map.
But
So it might go an extra map.
true, but we got Human Bones already in the Devastation server trying to take that game.
Okay. So Devastation snagged by hungrier streamers. So what do we pick? Do we pick Ty versus Slow Sheep? Because we haven't seen a lot of those guys. Rude Daston might be equally interesting because it's another Euro versus North American matchup. But I assume we will be seeing Daston, so we might as well go with Ty and Slow Sheep.
All right. They're just figuring out the server right now on Brit.
Slow Sheep is Norwegian and Ty is uh, East Coast. So technically, this should be, I guess, Brit Steel, which is UK.
I hope Slow Sheep's name isn't any indication of the play, because Doom is anything but slow. Can't be slow and you can't be sleeping. But we've seen Ty, but we got no experience here with slow. But you've encountered him in
Yeah,
previous tournaments too?
I actually haven't. He signed up last tournament, but then he dropped out before it started at the last moment, so we haven't seen him. But a surprise win against Unknown, who was a seed and was looking for that clinch in his fourth appearance, but it just didn't happen even in the first round. He was upset by this first show up, and I have no experience with Slow Sheep, so we will see um, something that's new to me. And Dastan and Root already also setting up their match in UK.
Oh, the Solar and the Zanero match was. Look how close that was. 50 to 47, 40 to 50, and then 50 to 49.
Oh my god! So the tiebreaker came down to last round. That's just nasty.
Okay, so Ty are Neon and then dealt Slow Sheet.
Yeah. That's how you do clan tags, because Tai is both in Clan Renegades and Neon? What?
Or prefixes and suffixes on an organic chemistry course.
Well, I assume that's just temporary team tags. Like Tai is from the Clan Renegades, but then he's on Team Neon in probably some CTF league that's going on right now. That's probably what that means. Just ignore everything that's in funky symbols.
Just so you have to pick out the name in the middle. Okay. Who do we got? Who won the coin flip?
Heads. So Tai won the coin flip and he banned Phyyric. And Slow Sheep banned map 11. What the hell is that? Weller. Yeah, okay, he banned Weller. So Tai banned
Both the larger maps out of the set, Dweller and Phyyric.
CGI. Tai banned Saskatoon. Another slightly more expansive map. So we left with a squad of small maps actually. So we're probably going to see a lot of SSG slaughter.
The Slow Sheep saying they're also gonna ban it.
That's Eyedea. Okay, so Slow Sheep is banning Eyedea.
So apparently these players do not like new maps. Because we got King 1, Mu2D, and Dweller. Returning back to the tried, the true, and the tested. But maybe that's something that you could expect with a player like Slow Sheep. Just being, if this is their first qualifier, then to go back to those maps.
Everything that just feels familiar and likable. Okay, we're going to see Mu. As I said, I don't know Slow Sheep, so I don't know what to expect from them. But this is something that Tai should thrive on. Tai is a strong SSG player, a rusher with a knack of that Legion style of going for the BFG. Tai is your second best BFG whore, basically, in the entire tournament. So this is the map where I would expect Tai to thrive.
Got a question for you, dude, because like as far as like Dweller is kind of a split map and that there's two sides, but Mu2D is also the same too. Is there generally like an agreed upon like one of the sides is an advantage to be on if you're in the fight?
Yeah, the lower part, the central part. You don't want to be on the upper part. It's you don't have good angles to shoot from. Like, you can threaten the other player with, like, I'm gonna rush for the BFG. But it's sort of like an intangible threat that may not pay off, and you don't get really good angles on your opponent. So you want to be in the center. You want to be actually on the ground. That's where most frags are, as you can see. So yeah, right now where Ties is, that's more like a waiting position, but not a strong position. It's where you kind of like wait for your opponent to do something. But when you want to get frags, you just jump into the middle and just keep fragging.
Which we've seen Ty take advantage of in this first little section of the game. But Ty is really on point with the SSG, like making each of these spawn frags work.
And yeah, we should point out we're in UK and Thai is East Coast America, and Slow Sheep is Norwegian, so these guys are almost tied for ping this British server.
Well, Slow Sheep isn't proven to be slow in the gameplay, well, until now.
There was some 3 frags in one BFG run. That's a huge advantage. Like a strong power play by Ty.
Insane spree, but it's just the game that's like completely trolling us, because you're just saying how awesome the one player's tied it up, and then 5 Doom seconds later,
and now Slow Sheep is sweeping it with SSG. Like Slow Sheep is seriously doing some good damage with the SSG, but then Ty turns it around with the BFG. And he scored Slow Sheep again. So Slow Sheep will be low on health. There you go, the finishing shot.
Yeah, smoke the Slow Sheep with a long SSG range blast.
And now it's up to Slow Sheep to again. Oh, he caught Ty with 2 surprise frags. Now it's tied. Now it's just exchanging frags back and forth.
Yeah, brought Ty into the SSG dungeon and got them all back.
Now Ty's going for another BFG round. Can he make it? He can. He gets the baseline first frag.
Yeah, Ty calling out the movement on Sheep with the BFG, but Sheep, like, interestingly, just went straight for the teleporter like multiple times in a row.
He learned his lesson. He just wants to get out of dodge from Ty's BFG. There we go. That's where Sheep seems to be more comfortable. Exchanging SSG frags. That's where he wants to be. Meanwhile, Ty probably rused that he just missed that BFG jump. Because we're tied, yes. And that's where Ty doesn't want to be. He has the BFG, so now it's fragging time. But he has one last shot, and he got that one frag, and another one. That still counts for the BFG run.
Ty fighting fiercely and pushing back in with a small frag advantage, but yeah, just
right
like
now this position is not good for him because he already spent all of the ammo. But that was a naive teleport by Slow Sheep. I don't know what he was doing there. He just got caught out completely. But he's erasing Ty's lead in the center with stronger SSG game. Okay, Ty is still hanging in, and he kept it at +3.
I forget all these BFG strategies. We're just gonna have a battle arena.
Yeah, it was bound to just just degrade to this throwing of shells. Just meet me in the middle.
Yeah, Slow Sheep putting on the thrusters into a 1-point lead. That Ty answering right back. Oh no, didn't quite get the kill, and Slow Sheep gets 2 kills off it.
I have to be. I have to say, like, seeing Slow Sheep, threatening for the lead this late into Mu 2D is actually pretty neat. Like, I wouldn't expect this. We'll see how Slow Sheep does on the other maps. Because apparently, like, the BFG on this map is his greatest weakness.
Oh, Ty kept that in.
Seriously, Ty is just clutching the victory with those BFG shots. That rocket launcher won't do it for Ty, but the BFG might. But there's still 10 frags to go for Ty, and Slow Sheep might mount a comeback.
Oh, telefrag.
Look at that! Telefrag.
Ty faking to go to the BFG, but just staying behind cover. And then... Nope, wait, that was Slow Sheep.
You can see that Slow Sheep is really frustrated by Ty's BFG rushes. He tried to stop Ty from going there, but he just couldn't. You said that, you asked me which position is stronger. This, like, Ty hovering in that upper position is super devastating psychologically for Sheep. He doesn't have a counter weapon for Ty's BFG. He keeps it close with a stronger SSG play in the center. But every Ty grabs the BFG is like +2, +3 frags.
Slow Sheep standing right in front of the BFG platform. Doesn't want to give it to Ty.
Yeah, this is a
Ty gets it again.
Yeah, and he gets that. And he gets another one. Yep. Sorry, Slow Sheep, but I think the BFG experience wins here. Yep, GG. That was very much a frustrating loss for Slow Sheep, but Ty just pressed his advantage to the fullest.
Yeah, 50-43, but that was just game one. Slow Sheep still has a chance to get back into this.
Oh yeah, we'll be playing some. Wait, do we have King in the selection?
Yeah, King 1 or Dweller.
Okay, I think that Slow Sheep might have wanted to eliminate King. Because we'll see. We'll see.
Well, what if Slow Sheep wants to go to Dweller where there is no BFG?
Sure, that might be interesting. We'll see if Slow Sheep can play the slow game.
Oh, UptightDM.
Oh,
Was that not bad?
okay.
Oh well.
I actually forgot the maps that were banned.
But we've seen like a lot of matches on Uptight, and though it's kind of Mu 2D and just how based around the SSG it is, the grabbing the BFG is far harder. Maybe that wasn't a great choice then by Slow Sheep if they've never seen this map.
Oh, ouch.
I think they're
That might
figuring
be.
this out if it was actually a banned or a chosen map.
Yeah, that might be a trouble with Slow Sheep because they just entered the tournament kind of blind. And props for taking at least one round, and then taking one game off. Well, not yet. We'll see if he can take one game off tie. But it was a close one.
Well, Slow
But
Sheep
hey,
got kicked from the server.
Kicked from the server.
Detected as a proxy.
What? Yeah, he's using a VPN. Automatically detected as a proxy. Okay. That might be a problem. We might have to move to a different server. Ah, there we go.
Ah, Sheep disabled the VPN. So we're all good. So about to get back in here into game number 2.
Game number 2 and...
Well, the SSG, like 2 of the SSG locations are quite obvious, but the other one's in the teleporter. But if they're gonna go ahead with this, I don't think they're going ahead with this map. Just looking at chat.
What? Yeah, they're... I said 09, but you checked. 09.
Vote now. Vote
Okay. Okay, King.
King won.
We'll see, because if Slow Sheep was frustrated by Ty's BFG play in Moo, this is even worse.
Ty stringing off the area with the plasma gun.
But it was a mutual frag.
Ty going to the BFG.
Oh wow, Solar station going to a tiebreaker.
So that series is 1-1.
Uh-huh.
And in this one, BFG or not, Slow Sheep is taking a large lead.
Yeah, I probably underestimated how much Slow Sheep knows the map, so he might be more comfortable with the map when he's in control. But right now, Ty is converting his control advantage really hard. But Slow Sheep, that was nice from Slow Sheep. Some SG harassment, not going for the SSG. Apparently she couldn't get that clean shot.
Oh, Slow Sheep sneaks out with the BFG, getting the kill. And that can happen for the players in just that with the spawns happening so quickly, just missing maybe a sound cue or something.
Ooh, that was a aggressive push by Slow Sheep and it paid off. Going like that into the building. Nice.
Gonna get these sweet, sweet elevator sounds. I'll kick one.
Here we go. He even delayed his spawn. That's what you do when you're facing a G spawn. You just don't spawn. You get 3 seconds to delay your game.
Yeah, maximum of 3 seconds. So Ty went back there to grab the plasma rifle, and since they're both cell weapons, you get additional BFG shots. Slow Sheep using rocket play, but not getting any connects.
Extremely aggressive. While Ty is basically just delaying his BFG pushes. His entire strategy is, I'm going for, but you don't know if I'm going to BFG right this second or the next one. That's his entire strategy. It's just kind of delaying the push.
I mean, it's bringing in a mind game that Slow Sheep has to react to.
Yeah, because apparently is nervous about the BFG play because that's the one thing he can't quite match as far as Ty's game goes. Ty sweeping with the BFG somewhat more than Slow Sheep can take. But there he goes with that punishing block shot.
Well, Ty sussed out the position, but Slow Sheep was ready for it.
Another trade frag. There we go. Slow Sheep is slowly building his lead with central domination. Now he has to back off. And guess what Ty pushed for. Nice extra shot. You can almost like feel that Slow Sheep is like a frenzy. He will even shoot that pistol.
Ty's taking a few too many berserk backs.
But Ty just punishing with that BFG, and he went charged with the plasma gun, and that is again punishing for Slow Sheep.
That's just got to be very frustrating for Sheep taking, you know, such a wide lead for so long in the match. But
oh yeah, it's just Sheep just can't counter these BFGs, and again he's getting punished and very late in the game. That was a unfortunate spawn. and he just doesn't counter Ty's BFG pushes, and that's something that's going to cost him.
Not if they can get back into it, but yeah, when you're stuck in that position, you can't even get to the position where you can fake the teleporter and going up on the high ground. Not the rocket spawn, anything but the rocket spawn.
So close. Like, if he manages to just keep Ty off the BFG. Like that, he has a chance, but there we go. There was a patient wait in the center, like he dipped straight for the SSG, but that he still doesn't have the SSG, you know. He's just sniping. Nice.
Gets in behind Ty.
But BFG. Ty with the BFG spawn. But they didn't pay off. Oh my god. Look at this.
Oh, God. Now they're both sweating. Going in for one final fight. Oh, and Slow
and
she
she
takes the
got it.
victory.
Incredible.
1-1.
Incredible. Oh wow.
Just getting all the way up to +4 there for Ty in the last just 10 frags, but couldn't pull it out. Like Ty was able to get that fateful BFG, but Slow Sheep countered.
Now
countered it.
Sheep is now crying that he didn't win because the last frag was kind of like sort of through the wall. It looked like from his point of view.
That's just the game, but like in match 3, we'd be going down to Dweller, which, as we've been saying for this series, there is no BFG on Dweller. There's no Ty BFG. Oh, and Devastation takes the win against Solar, 50-31 on Uptight. So Devastation, after getting down 1-1,
Devastation got pissed off. Yeah, after he just I'm not taking this crap anymore. Okay, Sheep and Ty are exchanging compliments. Okay, I'm going to take a 1-minute break.
But as far as seeing a bunch of compliments, just going by like some of the other players in the tournament, we've had a Ghost Killer doing some taunts, or just, you know, telling off the other opponent. So it's kind of interesting when you get to the end of a game and you're just saying, "Oh, you played well." No, you played well. Gotta love the sportsman-like conduct going on, but yeah, Uptight. A match that plays out a lot like Mu 2D, but like one of the things is you're not gonna get SSGs off every spawn. You have to go and fight towards them. But yeah, Slow Sheep using that SSG domination and taking a really quick lead. Ty sticking back there in one of the corners and getting some kills right back. Kept thinking this match was that they were going to be on Dweller, but that was correct. That UptightDM is the last one, last map in the selection process.
Right, I'm back, and we're at
UptightDM.
Tight.
Apparently, it was that map that Slow Sheep they haven't played before.
yeah. On the other hand, I feel that Slow Sheep is actually the stronger SSG player of the pair. So, like, if Slow Sheep can just stand in the center and reap the spawns, then they have a chance. On the other hand, I guess Ty will have to play up his experience. And don't go for the BFG, Ty. The BFG is really hard to grab on this map. But that's what you get with Ty. There's a BFG on the map. He will try to go for it.
Ty will aim at it as an objective. But one interesting factoid about Uptight is if you do shoot the switch, is I don't think the door closes until you go over a line trigger, like you walk over it.
You mean the exit door? Oh, the BFG door.
Yeah, the BFG door. Like, it will not close until you walk over the
Oh
trigger.
yeah, okay. So you can actually open it up for the opponent.
Yeah, and change the map slightly. But, like, to me, when you're watching Uptight DMs, I don't know, it reminds me of Dwango 5 map 7, in that you have, like, one player on, like, these normal spawns. It's not quite as bad as just having a pistol, of course, but that player's trying to run and get the SSG, like, any way they can on either of these islands.
This is just a ruthless exchange. Every time one player gets a frag, it's not a clean frag. They get they take some damage, and then when the opponent respawns, they just exchange the frag. And we haven't seen any clean runs or any clean spawn frags, because no one wants to take the dominating central position and actually convert.
Ty looks to have given up on the BFG dreams, no longer going for it, but
yeah.
playing I call it the 2-island game.
Like, seriously, the BFG is such a hard game. Just too hard if your opponent has any sense of positional play. They will deny it. And it's not even that great of a weapon in this map. Oh wow.
Well, part of it too is when you have a shoot switch, is your opponent can hear where you are, but you can also be punished on your reload time.
Yeah, or if you're using pistol on your weapon switch time. Right now, Slow Sheep is exerting a slight edge with just stronger SG dominance on the center. He's right now he's doing what I said. Like, yeah, being in the center, getting clean shots off the spawns, and then a second finishing shot.
And though it's the 4th qualifier and there is, 12 very strong players that aren't potentials in the bracket, like, Ty does not want to go down to losers if they can, because you don't want to risk a best of one.
There's already Zanero in the lower bracket, there's Solar in the bracket. You don't want to go against these guys. Solar upsets Devastation, almost. Zanero is definitely a dark horse.
Dark horse player with a lot of experience.
But now Ty is erasing the lead that Slow Sheep built. It was up to +7. Well, now it's back to +4. Ty doesn't want to give up.
Well, Ty's been listening to the stream and agreed with our sentiments.
But Slow Sheep is getting comfortable with that central position. Just sits in the center and sweeps Ty with strong SG shots. Yeah, and did you see that? Like Ty goes for that SSG, and Slow Sheep punishes him. Like, don't even go near that central. Like, don't go there. Yep. Don't touch it. Run elsewhere.
Slow it down, slow it down. This has got to be a nightmare for Ty. Like, being down by 8, it's gonna be real tough to get back in.
Yeah. Right now he's in such a hole that he's trying to go DFG, and no, it's not going to happen. But Slow Sheep actually didn't get the SSG in that play, so he's weak now. But he managed to get it before Ty. What are you doing, Ty? Don't go for the DFG. Just give it up. Just don't do it. Okay, he's doing it. He got one. Can he get more? He got two.
Two
okay.
kills.
DFG paid off for once. And he gets some nice follow-up frags. Okay, +5.
There is a plasma rifle over there, just right by this elevator, so there is... Can get more cells, but Ty goes down.
And still +6. And he's still aiming for the BFG. And Sheep can just trade frags. He doesn't care. If it's +6, I would trade frags. Would kill me with the BFG if I get another frag.
Ty in serious trouble.
It's +5. Cannot. That's at 49. That's just too far. That's. And you can see Sheep is just going for the raw damage. He doesn't even care about the SSG. There you go. He just wanted that damage. Not even like a clean shot with the SSG. Just raw damage.
Ty going down 2-1 to the newcomer, Slow Sheep.
Yeah, second set. Slow Sheep knocking out 2 seeded players in a row and going against Devastation.
Yeah, Slow Sheep against Devastation, Ralphus and Legion, Ruden Dassen look to still be going on. And Azrael knocks out Disco Rhine, so Disco Rhine is officially eliminated from the Take the Crown tournament. And Azrael moves forward in the lower section, but to hit up Solar in lower bracket round 2.
Talk about the hardest player you can get. Like well, we don't know because like we haven't watched, but Solar took a map of Devastation. That's going to be interesting.
But it's just sad now, just when you're looking at the lower bracket and seeing players who, like you're eliminated for good.
Mm-hmm. And it's just you're getting another player of the equal caliber, and it's just a knife fight in a phone booth.
A Mu2D fight.
Yeah, same thing. So are we going straight into a slow sheep versus devastation fight? I don't know if it will be played here or somewhere else.
Yeah, Slow Sheet is Euro. We got Devastation from Canada. Eastern
Slow sheep is
Canada.
pinging 40 in here. So I know it probably like slow sheep is Norway. So he would definitely get ping advantage in UK, and devastation is East Canada. So it depends. I guess it depends how they ping to New York and how they ping to Britain.
Because we got Slow Sheet there staying in the server. But I think while we're waiting on the next match, we're going to take a small little break here. But I just want to remind everyone there is 2 more streams in the Take the Crown tournament. We've got Tasty Spleen TV. And also in the Keep. So if you want to bring up all 3 of the streams, you just want to watch one at a time, that's all up to you. But yeah, make sure to check out those 2 streams as well if you want to see more Doom 2 Duel action. But yeah, we'll be back in 5 minutes. We're gonna get back into this early because oh, I've got the wrong scene up. Best streamer ever on Twitch. All right, but yes, it's gonna be Asriel versus Slower from the losers bracket. So whoever loses this
Solar,
best of one,
not slower.
too much slow sheep, huh?
Yeah. It's Solar. He's actually a fairly player from old school IDL. So all of the CTF alums know him, and he showed up pretty big against Devastation. It took one map off him, so this is
what map are we
going to be.
playing?
Oh, okay. Oh, no, not this, guys, not this.
So we see a lot of, like, many players have talked about the capture the flag and like how they're very strong kind of individuals and just Doom skill. Why is that? Why are the capture the flag players, why does their skill translate so well to Duel?
Well, it technically doesn't. It's just that like CTF is in Doom is a game of different skills. If you're a defender, you need a sharp aim, and you don't really need strong movement. If you're a flagger, you need really perfect aim, and maybe your aim doesn't need to be that good. So technically, you can translate those kills, but like you need both in duels. So it's just that CTF was so popular for a time that many players just ignored duels and just went for just playing CTF, and it didn't care about any duel leagues or duel tournaments. So I wouldn't say that it's a game of like translating skills or whatever. It's just that some of these players weren't motivated to play duel tournaments.
So if you wanted real competition, you had to enter capture the flag and enter some of these leagues.
Yeah, like if you wanted to meet all of the best players, that's when you would play CDF. But then again, doesn't mean you play all of the best players on the other team. No, it gets more complicated because it's a team game. So yeah, like for example, like Ocelot. I've seen Ocelot, one of the best dual players ever, try to play CTF. He was a great turret. He was a great defender. Like, he would kill everything he saw. That's just not enough for CTF. You also have to play the positional game. And he didn't have the experience with that. So, it was mediocre. Anyway, this game is starting well for Solar. He's hunting down Asriel with better positioning, circling the outer ring, and just hiding around. That's something that could be, because Solar is an old school player and has those D5 M1 camping, experiences where it's important not to rush. It's important to just wait and just get patient.
So Solar might have some tendencies to just wait on up, and Saskatoon's got a number of areas where you can hang out and pick off some frags, but there's some interesting features that include a green armor with like mini there's not just one green armor there, but there's like 10 or 15 we've heard.
Oh yeah, you can basically think of the green armor room as a power position, because it's a constant resource of green armor. On the other hand, you can see that Solar doesn't care. Solar try to go for the BFG as a power-up, but not necessarily for now. He's trying to get the green arm, but he's more interested in just a slow game where he's more in control of knowing where his opponent is and hiding his sound cues from his opponent. So he's the one trying to slow him, playing it Mango style. Like really defensively, plus back, don't rush, and maybe some plus back rocket spam.
But a major difference in Duango is that the BFG is kind of located off to the side, whereas in CGI here, is the BFG is right in the middle, and it's like impossible not to kind of notice a player aiming for it. Solar sneaks away with that kill, just kind of going off the side. Oh, Azrael.
But he was caught out right now. and Solar couldn't make the BFG run. And he's weak on weapons right now. But he just keeps running away from Azrael, trying to really frustrate Azrael with his defensive play.
Solar sitting in the corner and not daring to go for the SSG. That's 2 kills in a row now where Azrael has not been in the vision of Solar and gotten them from behind.
Now Solar is going for some sneak. Like, you can see him trying to turn around corners with the cone.
Azrael setting up a camp in the green armor room.
Azrael read his game and slowed down. So now we're probably looking towards a really slowed down, low pace game.
Very much a first for us on Saskatoon.
I think I've seen one, a slow one, but that was like Animal in Qualifier 1. So that's ancient history by now.
February.
Oh yeah, who remembers that? Oh, but now Solar is just converting every shot, and he just took off.
Just ripping and tearing through Azrael with a +10 lead.
And it's just been a string of successful encounters, just waiting him out in the hallways. Just let them come to me, and they will.
So what do you like to do against this play? Because I guess one of the issues is, you know, when you're kind of playing Doom and you're playing Doom duels, is that you can get into a mindset where you feel like you always do have to move, but Solar's obviously is not showing us in this game. He's kind of just controlling specific areas, waiting for Azrael to come on in, and it's rewarded them with a huge lead.
Now Solar is actually trying to feeling more comfortable with just being the dominating player. I think like maybe Azrael could try to switch it up, go for the BFG, because he has such a huge hole to dig out, and it's he needs to convert some of those spawn frags that Solar has been successfully doing. Like when you make the kill, you need to follow up with 1 or 2 more kills straight off the spawn. And he might want to maybe grab the BFG as a pressure weapon, not necessarily the kill weapon. But he's in a really bad position right now. -9. And it looks like Solar wouldn't mind taking this to 20 minutes.
Oh, and when you're ahead by 11, there's no rush.
Yep. You just trade damage. Just right now, he doesn't need to extend his lead. He just needs to trade frag for frag. If this is 24-14, and when this is 50-40, he will be very happy. Just keep the 10 frag lead. But that was nice defensive rocket play by Azrael.
Azrael got out of there, but Solar was stuck in the corner for a split second.
There we go. But it ended up with an exchanged frag as well.
Oh, Solar coming out the victor in that exchange.
It's plus 13. It's just not looking good for Azrael at all. Oh, wow.
Solar just about to double the score. Not quite.
But Solar just converts spawn frags. If Azrael spawns near him, he will get the second frag. While Azrael can't quite get that sort of luck, or just it's also about positioning, where you kill your opponent. If you kill your opponent in some faraway spot of the map, then you're less likely to get the follow-up frag. So if you work for your frags hard, you also will have trouble converting spawn frags.
Good job on the strafe run by Solar, just grabbing the BFG. There has been players who have struggled with that jump and just awkwardly run into the platform.
Most of these guys just warp around. They just seem to have those jumps down to sense. Yep. Solar is definitely moving around really aggressive. Oh, there. Okay, now he failed, but it worked in his favor. At least partially.
Azrael catching Solar off guard. Jumping to the BFG.
Come on. Solar converting even defense rocket launcher spawn. And it's just not looking good for Azrael.
But Saskatoon's not one of those maps where you tend to see like tons and tons of spawn frags in a row, so if Azrael can maybe take this as a cue to just change up how they're...
He would really have to slow this down. On the other hand, can he slow this down? Because Solar can afford to drag this out to 20 minutes, whilst Azrael, he just needs to rack up scores. Like, and how do you do that? At this point, he's running out of... He needs to get lucky, basically. It's tough, but it can be done.
Roll 20 hits in a row. And right there, Azrael working hard for the kill, and then Solar just gets one right back. It's getting some interesting gameplay just going around and around the BFG. There we are, though, like an actual spree for Azrael, getting 2 in a row. But even at a rate of 2-1 kills in favor of Azrael, that won't be enough to take the victory. And you need to pull something crazy out of the hat. Solar getting knocked down to 5 HP, kind of hiding in here.
Yeah, but at 5 HP, Solar isn't thinking about, you know, making some crazy plays. He just wants to damage Azrael for at least some health. Because whatever health he takes off Azrael means he will get an easier frag the next time. So that's... Solar just needs to play the attrition game, right?
Yeah.
You can definitely see that that's what he's going for.
Type of gameplay in FPS you don't see all that often. I guess maybe in Counter-Strike where you lose permanent health. But yeah, in Doom, just as a dueling 1v1 game, it's completely different in that when you lose health, it's gone.
Oh, but there we go. Solar actually took one of the frags off with that rocket launcher suicide. That's not what he wanted to do there. So a glimmer of hope for Azrael.
Glimmer of hope in 6 minutes. Oh, the green armor's all gone.
green armor's run out. There we go. I don't think we've seen that on stream yet. Meanwhile, Legion beats Zanero 50-49.
Yeah, there's such a thing as almost getting too defensive. You see that in sports where you get a lead and then you're just coasting towards the end.
Oh yeah.
And Solar has stepped up.
You just switch to a different strategy, and suddenly the strategy doesn't work that well. And we see that here, like Azrael is slowly climbing back, but that hole was so huge, plus 12. He brought it to plus 6, basically halving it. But is it enough? I don't think so, because it was just such a huge lead. Plus 6, no, I think Solar will just, even if it ends by 1 frag difference, Solar this. Switching to defensive weapons.
Gotta respect a player that doesn't give up. Azrael did all that they could to get back into the match. We're sorry to see Azrael get
actually
knocked out.
Yeah, it was actually very respectable comeback by Azrael, but then Solar just kept his lead.
But it was all about Solar's patient play and very strong positioning on parts of the map, especially through the first half. But then once Solar got ultimately defensive, then Azrael was taking control of the pacing and, you know, getting advantages in the fights.
So actually on Jhar's stream, we have Slow Sheep taking the first map against the station, but currently trailing on Saskatoon by 11 frags. So we will see a tiebreaker there.
Disparl saying Devastation took the first round, but Jhar has an incorrect score on screen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If Devastation takes out Slow Sheep, Devastation will officially qualify.
And that's finally you can open up those champagne bottles fizzled out since week 1 when you bought them. It's been a delayed certainty.
Well, you go into qualifiers and you're coming out fifth or sixth when you need to be in the top four. Is that, that plays on your mind like, am I doing something wrong? What do I need
Oh,
to do?
yeah.
But Devastation, with as much experience as they have in multiplayer classic Doom, is not one that's going to give up.
All right, so what do we have next on the menu?
Well, Jahar's casting Devastation is Devastation up 47 to 28 though. Looks like Slow Sheep is going to fall in this match, and Devastation will go on, and we will see him next week. Yeah, we should a reminder to chat that next week after these 4 qualifiers is for all the marbles. In the main bracket, there will be a prize pool of $1,500 that is shared. And yeah, it's going to be an absolute blast next week.
And In the Keep is streaming the other semifinal, which is Ralphus vs. Daston. And if the score is actually correct, Daston is leading 1-0, playing well right now. And Daston is +4, +3 on Ralphus around mid-mark. So that one's still open. But we should be looking at some loser bracket matchups right now.
Yeah, we're going to do Steve88 versus Ty.
All right.
But if you do want to check out these semi-final matches, they're in chat. Check out Tasty Spleen TV and In the Keep. So on Tasty Spleen TV, actually Tasty Spleen TV is in between matches, since Devastation would have just won that one. But on In the Keep will be Ralphus versus Daston.
Daston.
Had a chance to watch any matches of Steve88 do?
Not really, because I was tied up with you, so I actually haven't seen any matches that you haven't seen. So that's the cost of me being your co-host for all of these tournaments.
But Steve's got a lot of faith. Looking in the Discord, he says it's gonna be a slaughter.
Well, Steve did meet up his fate usually quite soon in the previous qualifiers, so he probably doesn't have much hope against Ty, who was eliminated by just a frag in his winner bracket matchup.
Oh, what's the strategy you want to aim for if you've got no hope in a match? How can a worse player take the win against a superior Doom duelist?
Stress them out. Stress them out. Don't play the hard SSG maps.
Well, we're gonna play a hard SSG map right here in Uptight.
Okay. Maybe we'll see some novel strategy. Still at 0. Ty takes the first frag, but Steve follows up with a counter frag. And seems like Ty definitely will try to use the BFG strategy yet again. even though I really don't think it works on this map. And Steve keeps it tied up in the early game.
Well, Ty's been pushing that strategy, like, in all the games against Slow Sheep, so I guess there won't be a change up here versus Steve. Just going forward.
You can only keep Ty from running BFG if there's no BFG on the... So that's about it.
Because rather than pushing a dominant position over that center between the two islands of SSG, because then Ty is jumping off into a different angle, but not sure if it's gonna matter.
If you're sacrificing your dominating central position to go for the BFG, you're losing some nice spawn threat, I would say. And I don't think that one BFG kill that you probably will get is worth it. Like, you rather want to stay in the center and convert your good position into some power kills.
Not Steve obtaining the same spawn twice in a row, and Ty can't get the second follow-up.
Yeah, when it comes down to just exchanging blows in the center, Steve seems to be at least holding his ground. So far.
One fantastic thing is with the health system is kind of no matter your skill level, you should probably at least get a kill in your match. It's unlike Quake where it's gonna be 25 to -5.
Yeah, you won't get those minus.
Come on, Steve, we're cheering for you.
Yeah, he's getting some good. It's not like Steve, complete outsider. He's just probably not on Ty's experience level. Oh, but he caught Ty with his pants down there.
But Steve joins the no pants party. Alright, but Ty back with the comfortable BFG.
And a mutual frag. Ooh, that was a nice flick shot by Steve.
Alright, we got a hot take here in chat, dude. How do you have to answer to that? So far, it's a lot of running and gunning and zero strategy.
Oh, maybe.
Like, not supposed to answer like that.
There's no map domination. Like, no one's trying to actually lock down the central position and guard those SSGs. That's the one thing. Both of the players always have a chance to grab their SSG and then face their opponent. Like, you have seen matches where if someone just got near an SSG, they would get punished. But right now, these guys can. It's just go wherever you want. Then we meet up in the center, and it doesn't matter.
Later on, we'll get some screenshots by Steve that's showing a whiteboard with something that would compare to theoretical physics. But it's looking like Ty is just feeling confident that they just have the pure shooting skills to take this one.
Yeah, Ty is at that point where, like Solar in the last match, he can just trade damage. Just it doesn't matter if he loses a frag. He's not in it for clean shots anymore. He just needs to damage Steve, and if he damages Steve, he can finish him off in the next frag, next life.
Are all these guys running at SR40?
Doesn't matter. This isn't exactly a map needs SR50. You just need that sharp aim and just being positioned close to corner.
Steve dodging all of the BFG projectiles, but not the follow-up SSG onslaught.
Yeah, that still counts as the BFG round. The follow-up SSG shot is still the SSG round. The other way around.
Ty was wanted a break from the pressure by just hiding in the elevator.
And Ty just keeps growing more confident in the BFG rounds, and I'm slightly worried that if he uses this strategy against someone more powerful, that might bite him in the ass.
Just going for the BFG when it's not really so viable. Well, we want to thank Steve88 for their participation in many of these qualifiers, and congrats to Ty for moving on forward in the lower bracket. But like, as far as that SR40 question about deathmatch, the movement in deathmatch, like it's going to be a bit different from if you were playing like something a little more vanilla based, just because of all the physics in Zandronum. But like, you're not going to see typically as much SR50, because with a locked angle, that means that your opponent can judge generally more easily where you're going to be. So you'll see, would you say more SR40?
Yeah, and when you're not able to aim, you can't counter shoot. So that's another problem. Like if you're locked down with SR50, you can't aim at your opponent. So you only use that either when you're like running somewhere really quickly, or when you're dodging your opponent while you're reloading your SSG. Like there's SSG jousting is a lot of tiny SR50 dodges. That's where the most of SR50 happens in SSG heavy duel. But other than that, you don't want to limit aiming. So while you're aiming at someone, you won't be SR50.
But this bracket
So what
is kind of different from the previous ones, is that they've usually been really good at kind of keeping up with the winners bracket and the lowers bracket. But this time around, we're going to see like a lot of lowers bracket matches. But right now in the winners bracket final is Devastation against Daston. So Daston took out Ralphus 2-0, and Daston finally gets their qualification. So it is the the redemption story of Dev and Daston.
Right. The two players that should have been already qualified by this point have finally qualified. So there's that. But we will see. Like now they're fighting for seeding in the grand finals. Meanwhile, and it looked like basically everything will be just North America in this tournament, because uh, this morning the only player from Europe who signed up was unknown, and now we have later in the day we got Slow Sheep and Daston. Now we have Slow Sheep close to, very close to qualifying. And Daston already qualified. So there's already Europe taking another qualifying spot from North America. And this isn't quite the North America redemption story that I expected.
This is becoming like the StarCraft 2 story. Well, Korea beats Europe, which beats Oceania, and which beats North America, who's just over there. Used to that in too many games, but there will be some North Americans in the final.
Yeah, we already have Amar, we have Animal, now we have Devastation, and we have J Warrior. So those four are some powerful players. So it's not like they're scrubbing the bottom of the barrel. It's just that it's 4 out of 14 right now, and it's not as much as you would expect.
Okay, Motherlode and Bones are casting Rude.
Oh yeah, Rude and Unknown, and it's a really close one. Oh wow, that's a really close one.
Okay, so Solar and Ty are gonna go to Dallas, so we'll be joining them. But even a few rounds.
Wow, Unknown took it by one frag
By
with
one
rocket
frag.
spam. Oh my god. And it was defensive rocket spam. Oh wow, that was insane. That was a highlight. That was a highlight frag right there.
Where's the Dallas server?
And that means Europe reigns superior.
You're having too much fun with this, dude.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot of fun.
We might have to do a grudge match later. Czechs
We
versus
also
Canada.
have more coronavirus than you.
Oh.
So we just beat you everywhere.
We just got our first case in Calgary not long ago.
Wait, so are we going to TX State the Crown Qualifier? Is that the right server? I hope so. Okay, everyone's in there.
Ty has entered the server.
Vote passed.
Yeah, so in the keep stream we'll follow up unknowns upset victory. So they will stream Unknown versus Legion. So if you're interested in that particular redemption arc, you should go there. We will follow Solar's and Ty's story.
We'll just show that off again on the 2 other streams. So yeah, if you want to see the unknown story, you can go watch In the Keep there. But Devastation and Dastin, the winners bracket finals, will be on Tasty Spleen TV here soon. Also got the links for y'all in chat.
It's already happening.
Okay,
It's
already going on.
Actually.
Yeah, definitely check that out. But here now, with Ty's romp over Steve, now there's going to be a lot harsher competition in Solar.
Oh yeah, especially since we've seen Solar playing the defensive game, while Ty is the aggressive, hyperactive kid who just rushes for the BFG. So we will see some clash of styles here, and it might I wouldn't dare to call a result here. And Ty actually banned King, which is amazing to me.
So now how are you gonna slow down Mu2D if you're Solar?
Yeah. Well, you guard that BFG route, and you guard it better than Ty's previous opponent. You just shoot Ty whenever he tries to go BFG. Can you do it? That's the question.
Just liking kind of what we're seeing with Solar's movement. It's so patient. No rushing.
Yeah, he's really he doesn't rush into confrontations. He actually grabbed the BFG there and didn't use it. Wasted BFG. But he didn't really feel like using it, which I understand, because if you're not going for a sweep with it, then it's kind of useless. We see Ty. Can he do something with a BFG rush? Not so far. Yeah, Solar is just waiting him out. Ty is like...
Yeah, Ty hadn't maybe an inkling for a bit where Solar was hiding, but the...
What is Ty doing?
What's going on?
Timing out?
Ty's screen, their monitor went out.
Okay, this is weird. Which server are we in? This is Texas, right?
Can you call for a pause and...
Yeah, I'm trying.
Ty's suddenly gone blind. So should we start that with Ty up by a kill or two?
Okay, wait.
I'd started at Solar.
It would be like 2-1.
Yeah, Solar should be up 2-1. Oh, I guess they're just gonna play. Oh no. What have we done?
At 2-1, it really is better to not dwell on existing score.
What's that classic survival game everybody would play for? One Tarnsman doesn't like.
Doesn't like. So not PUBG.
No, the Doom survival game with waves of monsters.
Do you mean like an invasion game? Like
Yeah.
Stronghold?
Yeah, Stronghold.
Stronghold is not good, even as an invasion game. It's just too, like, you just spam down one hallway.
There's some solar patience, just not wanting to move anywhere. Going and grabbing a snack, getting lunch.
Yeah, but that's 5 HP. Yeah, he has to be patient. In the end, it didn't pay off. Still.
But the spread is staying even in the score, but like, that's the first time we've seen Ty get the BFG all game, so I think Solar's style is preventing Ty from playing kind of how he wants on Mu 2D.
This is actually how it looks like when two more skilled players are playing. Like, the BFG isn't all that effective. It was like Slow Sheep was getting really cut out, but you can see Solar, he will just wait out Ty, and he will wait at some surprising angle and dance between the BFG shots. This is why Mu 2D isn't BFG map, while King is, because in King you can grab the BFG no matter what your opponent tries. But here you can always find some strategy to deny your okay, Ty got that one kill, but he got hurt in the process. So Solar just clipped him and got the counter frag. And we're at 1-1 from the entire run. So that ended up neutral. That wasn't a benefit to Ty, basically.
Now Ty taking Solar's corner. Taking each other's toys.
Oh, yeah. Ty just cut out Solar trying to go for.
But with a defensive playstyle, you do not get as much time as you want to eventually win out, because there is a time limit.
Yeah, but now you can see Solar actually cut out Ty napping and BFG. And he hasn't used it in like a spam way, just targeted shots, but they didn't work out as well as he would want them to. Now he's getting some nice spawn frags. And he nearly tied it, but now Ty broke the the chain, and it's really annoying. Talk about time frames while Ty is playing. It's just it's just pissing me off.
Well, Solar was prepared for the BFG shot, but and covered the angle, but still got hit.
And you can see. Do you see how Solar is actually really good at dancing with Ty's BFG shots? Like, even though Ty knew where he was and tried to like smoke him out, Solar just danced between the shots. And this is what you will get a lot from experienced players. They have a lot of angles to hide, so they will. And that's what Slow Sheep can do.
Well, anyone in chat who's got experience with the BFG is you start initially thinking that it destroys everything on the screen. If you're playing single player, that maybe it'll translate to multiplayer and you just have no chance when they get the BFG, but it's really not the case. If you know how it functions and you're careful with your dodging, then having the BFG can at times be a liability.
It's just you need to use the BFG very precisely. It's a high skill. You need to know your angles, you need to know your timing, then you can make an almost assured frag, maybe two. But everything else, that just means your opponent is either unlucky or unskilled. But making frags consistently with map, so it's kind of like now these guys are training BFG frags, and they're just like letting go. It's just let's just everything go wild. They're not careful at all. They really went from careful play to just reckless play.
It's confusing to see so much BFG on Mu2D, because like,
Oh yeah.
I just think of it as the ASMR SSG map at times.
and we actually see like a double BFG game. I don't think we've actually seen that in the entire show. Like BFG versus BFG on Mu2D. Okay. Now we've seen everything.
Or a Mu2D that goes past 10 minutes. No one's biting, but Ty goes in aggressively.
Who would have thought that this would be the camp game on Mu2D?
First for everything. Oh, Ty got double BFG fight, but Ty comes up on top.
Another double BFG fight. Yeah.
Got two big fucking campers on this map. Jeez.
And they're just, it's just, they're playing the same game, like the same style against each other.
But as the match is nearing 50, interested to see if Solar's going to continue on with the defensive play or ever just switch it up.
Right now, I know. Like right now, he's -3, so he needs to step up a bit. But it brought him success. He just needs a string of good spawns to tie it up. So he shouldn't do any drastic changes. Okay, this was bad for him. But now he's tying it up. Yeah, there we go. That lucky string he needed. And he doesn't need to rush anywhere. Like, neither of these players needs to be afraid of either the frag limit or the time limit. And we might see some weird strategy we've never seen on Mu2 before. That was nice scorching by like Ty, just denying Solar's angles. And Ty completely missed Solar going for the BFG. just didn't see him.
It's just two titans just going back and forth, like Solar was up, made it back.
No, this is... I don't think anyone is in control of the game. Like, you definitely can't say anyone this map. And these are two veterans. These are two guys who know what's up. So no one is like playing this by just screaming at the monitor and being panicked all the time. These guys are patient on purpose. They're both ideal veterans who played in like 15 years ago. They played already.
Need a graph and a spreadsheet for what is the average experience of the players in this tournament. Like, how many years of Doom are in the books?
Oh, hey, and he couldn't follow up. He killed him with the score. That was nasty. And RNG luck for Ty. Solar capitalizes, keeps it close.
Ty missing the up close and personal shot.
He missed the BFG kill shot.
Ty just piecing out, and Solar had a BFG. No longer.
Yeah, but he couldn't shoot it properly.
Well, I mean, look at that BFG. It probably is confusing to get working.
This is a nasty Mu2D game. This isn't how any Mu2D games go. This is an outlier. Don't look at this, people. This is not how Mu2D is. It's hate. It was an actual double kill. Who should... No. And Ty got the kill, but he got Scorch on the plays. And Solar will look to convert a counter kill. There we go. Yep. This is mad. This is nasty as hell.
Back to Ty. This is gonna go to a BFG finish. Can feel it.
At 49-49, BFG versus BFG.
Ty not ready for Solar coming there on the high ground. Ty takes one more.
Can he take the BFG? Can he convert the BFG? There we go. We started with the BFG. We ended with the BFG. That was insane.
Crazy BFG players. Man, so many tight games today, but 50-48 for Ty, and Solar with a valiant effort throughout qualifier number 4, but their run will be stopped in their tracks here.
This was truly one of the most like outlierish games we will ever see on this map. You won't see this much BFG action. Not in the grand finals.
What's left? So Ty versus Solar. So Ralphus would be playing here against Ty, and then we got Slow Sheep and Legion.
Slow Sheep is still in. What games do we have? Slow Sheep versus Legion, Ralphus versus Devastation, and awaiting his opponent. Right. I assume JR is streaming this.
Yeah, if Jahar is streaming this, because it's gonna be lower bracket round 4, both of them going on,
Mhm.
we might as well like consolidate now. I'd say so, because we're
Wait,
just getting.
so we're in the keep is about to watch Legion with
And Jahar's in this match for Ralphus and Ty. So let's do the consolidation.
So do we raid in the keep?
Could do that, or Jahar.
Well, we could do in the keep and then Jahar. You know, the gradual.
Yeah, that would make sense. All right, so we're going
And
to.
we can also join them on actually like on the voice chat, because we can just jump into their voice chat, right?
True. All right, everybody from chat. So me and Do are gonna head off for the day. We've got 3 different streams for this tournament, but we're gonna head off to In the Keep, where we'll be watching Slow Sheep versus Legion, and then it's all going to go together on Jahar's or Tasty Spleen TV's their Twitch channel. But we did want to mention, like right now we've got Devastation and Dastin who have qualified, but the winners of lower bracket round 4 is going to also qualify for the final bracket. So the final bracket takes place next Saturday, March 14th at 3 p.m. EDT. I'm going to bring that up for you right now. But yeah, so that will be taking place. There is a prize pool of $1,500 with 16 total players in a bracket. But yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out, enjoying these Doom 2 duels and death matches, and yeah, we'll see you around next week too. But yeah, we're gonna send a raid off to In the Keep.
And we'll send ourselves there as well. Right.
Bye everyone. Have a great day.
Oh fuck, they're in a server where there's just four player spots. Oh my god. Okay,